These doomsday articles are exactly what mainstream media loves writing about. The catastrophes, the humanity, the horror, the unholy clickbait. It bleeds, it leads, etc. But in this case, an asteroid that could wipe out an entire city on Earth, despite the fact that just 0.69% of the Earth's surface is considered urbanized land. And I actually brought the receipts. Earth's surface urbanization percentage. According to recent studies, approximately 0.69% of the Earth's land surface was urbanized by 2020. So, what does this have to do with anything? An invisible threat, a swarm of hidden city killer asteroids around Venus could one day collide with Earth, simulations have shown. And this came out just a few days ago. A new study suggests that unidentified co-orbital asteroids around Venus may have the capacity to impact our planet in the future with potentially devastating consequences. However, there is no immediate threat. Well, then why are you writing about it? I mean, if it doesn't have anything to do with us for the foreseeable future, I mean, it's just proves my point. A hidden swarm of city killer space rocks known as co-orbital asteroids is likely hiding around Venus and could pose an invisible threat to Earth over the coming millennia if the asteroids are not found. There is no immediate danger to our planet, though. So they want to make that clear. There's no immediate danger, but I guess just be on the lookout. Or if they want to allocate billions of dollars to building a new array of telescopes, they'll just give us that excuse. Well, there could be some asteroids around Venus that could potentially impact Earth in like 7,000 years. So we really got to keep an eye on it just in case, maybe one might slip through centuries and centuries from now. That way we can inform them down the road. So anyway, co-orbital asteroids are space rocks that orbit the sun alongside a planet or other large body without truly orbiting the larger object. There are currently 20 known co-orbitals around Venus, ranging from Trojan asteroids, which are fixed either in front of or behind a planet in its orbital plane, to a closely circling quasi-moon known as Zuve, all of which likely originated from the solar system's main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Dozens of similar co-orbitals also tag along with Earth, and more are being discovered all the time. So basically, these asteroids are just trapped in Earth's orbit at a safe distance, I'm assuming. So anyway, all of the Venetian space rocks are likely wider than 460 feet, which is large enough to be considered, quote, city killers, despite the fact that less than 1% of the Earth is urbanized, meaning the vast, vast, vast majority of the Earth is just empty land, or it's not. It's going to cause a minimum amount of casualties. I mean, it would be the most perfect of perfect targeted strikes from Mother Nature to hit a city with one of these things. But of course, they don't point that out. But anyway, let me see what else I got here. Co-orbitals can also move around relative to Venus, which can change their chances of colliding with Earth in the future. Previous research has shown that this likely happens to the space rocks once every roughly 12,000 years, known as a co-orbital cycle. Researchers carried out a series of computer simulations to gauge whether hidden asteroids with lower eccentricities could threaten Earth. And they did a study, and this study offers no indication of how likely a future collision really is, because it is, quote, hard to predict, end quote, how many co-orbitals there really are. Study lead author Valerio Caruba, an astronomer at Sao Paulo State University in Brazil, told Live Science in an email, quote, how many exactly is an open question. None of the current co-orbital objects will impact Earth soon, Caruba clarified. The researchers also highlighted the recent discovery of the city killer asteroid 2024 YR4, which is initially predicted to have a 2.3% chance of colliding with Earth in 2032, before the odds were later downgraded to 0. So it's definitively going to pass by the Earth. It's not going to hit the Earth. This was an important reminder of the importance of detecting and monitoring potentially hazardous asteroids, they wrote. It may also be prudent to send a telescope to Venus's orbit to specifically hunt for these objects, the researchers wrote, which I found to be interesting. I mean, yeah, why not? We already have orbitals or orbiters going around Venus. I mean, I know they're not specifically hunting for asteroids exactly, but so, I mean, if this were to happen in the future, if there was an asteroid that was going to strike a city that was so unfortunate enough to get a direct impact from an asteroid, who's going to pay for all of it? I mean, who's going to pay for the technology, the array of telescopes, the rocketry, the system that's going to intercept this asteroid and push it off course, and therefore it's not going to hit the Earth. So who's going to pay for all that? Here it comes. The United States, probably. Which, if we divert an asteroid that was on a definitive collision course with, let's say, Brazil, for instance, and let's say that all the computer models point directly to, let's say, Rio. They have the precise point of impact. Other countries ran their simulations and concluded the same impact location. I mean, that sounds to me that Brazil should be fully financially responsible for all the costs associated with that diversion, because it's their city that's going to be directly impacted by it. Or perhaps we could approach Brazil with the information, letting them know that there's an asteroid on the way, and they can decide whether they want to cough up the cost, or they could just let the impact happen. After all, it could hit a remote part of the Amazon. I mean, it could, which it would infuriate the environmental activists, but on the other hand, nature clearly wants to eviscerate that area if that were to happen. I mean, I get that if that scenario were to happen and we have the technology to prevent such a disaster, it should be our humanitarian responsibility to take care of business. That said, the financial burden shouldn't fully rest on our shoulders. We are the superhero for building the technology in the first place. So the least the affected country could do is to financially cover this huge endeavor. Then, of course, there's the other issue, which could potentially impact a third world country who simply doesn't have the ability to pay for something that would probably cost billions of dollars. And if we do say, well, you know what, don't worry about it, we got this, if we were to do that, then other first world countries may not be so quick to pay us back then, because we're giving the third world countries a pass. So why would the first world countries pay for it? I mean, I guess that's why we should demand payment up front, unless it's from a country who clearly doesn't have the ability to pay for it. Maybe they could cover the cost in natural resources, but that honestly sounds shady on multiple levels, essentially kneecapping their ability to ascend the economic ladder. So, I mean, it's a real conundrum, but I just don't think we should pay for every little thing that affects a completely different country directly. I mean, it is something that we'll have to work out. I just don't feel that my tax dollars should be responsible for the entire planet. Defending the entire planet and any city-destroying asteroid that may impact the planet. Now, I know we're talking thousands of years into the future. At least that's kind of what they're dressing up that article to be. I mean, it sounds doomsday, but then on the other hand, if you read it all the way through, it's not so doomsday. But obviously, the headline makes it sound like it's imminent, it's inevitable, it's right around the corner, it's just weeks away. But no, it's not. I mean, there are asteroids, and I mean, Oumuamua is a great example. I just uploaded that video. It was hurling through the solar system during its approach to the sun, or past the sun, rather. It was traveling around 200,000 miles an hour. So very quickly, and it measured anywhere from 100 meters to 1,000 meters wide. They're not exactly sure, but it's somewhere around that. I mean, it's a large object. I'm sure it would have been large enough to take out a city at a minimum, I'm assuming, if it were to have impacted the Earth. But the problem with Oumuamua is that we didn't see that asteroid or that object, whatever it was. We didn't see it till it already passed by the Earth. I think it was like a month after it passed by the Earth when we first detected it. So there's a lot of objects out there that we really may not even see at all until, boom, it just hits us. But with regard to any asteroids that are on a collision course and we catch it, let's say 6 months ahead or 6 years or even 100 years ahead, we've got one perfectly pegged. It's going to hit the Earth in exactly 100 years. We're able to study the trajectory, and as long as it doesn't get nudged by anything gravitationally in the solar system, it's going to hit this exact spot. And let's say that exact spot is, let's say, in Rio. And if that's the case, I mean, I know that Brazil is just going to assume that we're going to pay for this whole thing, because the United States is, we just can't wait to build this technology, and we can't wait to be the big heroes of the day. We're the world's superheroes. Let's go out there into space, like in the movie Armageddon. Let's just blow this sucker up, and then the whole world is saved. Everybody's happy. We just ride off into the sunset as heroes, even though we've just spent billions of dollars, and I know our debt doesn't seem to matter to everyday people anymore, but our debt really does have consequences down the road. I mean, we can't just endlessly spend money until, infinity happens. I mean, there's got to come an end to the crazy spending. So anyway, not to keep going on ranting, but I mean, I never hear about that. Anytime they talk about these doomsday scenarios, especially when it comes from space, and they rely on, obviously, a first world country to take care of business, to go up there and either blow it out of the sky, which probably won't happen. Realistically, they'll probably just slightly nudge it. So that way, when it's slightly nudged from far away, it'll just pass the planet altogether. But I just think that whoever is going to be receiving this impact from Mother Nature, it's not us, it's nature, who's set this collision course. I mean, if you want us to get in the way of Mother Nature's wants, then I think you should just pay for it, or at least pay for the vast majority of it. I don't think that we should be, held responsible financially for it. And by we, I mean us, the American taxpayers. So anyway, that's all I got. See you later.